Good morning, everyone. It's 7:15. I'm in the little town of Kremmling, Colorado. I'm about 2 miles west of Denver, and today we are continuing our quest to drive across the entire state of Colorado from west to east using only back roads. Here's a closer look at Kremmling itself. Not much to it. Pretty small town. Population 1,500, elevation 7,400. And then here's looking down in the other direction. We have a pretty intense sunrise over there to the east. But we're not spending too much time in Kremmling here this morning. Let me show you what the plan is. Here's our map of Colorado. Yesterday, in the previous video, we started up here in the top left corner and went this way. And we are now right here in Kremmling. And the plan for today is to go basically this way, go through Denver. We're gonna do and see some stuff in Denver and then go out of Denver and camp, I think somewhere east of Denver. The fastest way to get there, the most direct way to get to Denver would be to go from Kremmling down to I-70 to Silverthorne and then east straight across to Denver. But remember, we are avoiding interstates on this trip. So we're gonna go this way. We're gonna take Highway 40 through the mountains. And I've actually never driven this road before, so I'm looking forward to it. A couple hours later now. That was a beautiful drive up and over the mountains and through the valleys. We are now in the old Colorado gold mining town of Idaho Springs. This is right along I-70. This is the interstate right here. We're not too far west of Denver right now, but this is a cool little town. Tons of beautiful old historic buildings, including this mill right here, this mine and mill. There's a lot of construction going on in front of the mine and mill, but look at this thing. So apparently, the modern day equivalent of $10 trillion in gold was extracted through the mine and the tunnel here. You can go on a tour, but I don't really have time for that. We're on a time crunch today. The goal here is to drive and cover ground, not necessarily to see every site along the way. And this is the first of 3 old mining towns in this area that I wanted to go to. I've been here before. I've been to Idaho Springs before. I remember a couple years ago I was here buying a fishing license, but just a really cool town. I think we will actually explore some of the old houses a little bit. I'll show you some more of the old houses. And then we're gonna go to another little park and then a couple other towns that way in the mountains. I drove a little bit farther west into town to the kind of the old historic part of it, where there are lots of shops and restaurants and everything, and it was a couple dollars to park. Got a cool old narrow gauge railroad locomotive. What a cool little downtown area. Lots of neat shops and restaurants, tons of old buildings. And there's pizza somewhere. I can smell the pizza. It smells great. The town seems a little bit quiet right now, but I can imagine in the summer this place is just a madhouse. Got this cool little old Toyota Sunraider camper with a motorcycle on the back. This guy's doing it right. Yeah, super cool little town. And if you're in the market for one of these houses, this guy right here is currently for sale for around $600,000. And then across the interstate, we have a waterfall right here and a cool old water wheel from a mill. I think we can walk over there. This is the interstate, but I think there's maybe a footpath if we go over this way. Yeah, this is really neat. So this is the old water wheel. Dates back to 1893. And then we have the waterfall right next to it. So this is the guy who built the water wheel and had the mill. And this little plaque here talks about how he attributed his good health to the fact that he never kissed women or took baths. Interesting. The plaque also says that the water wheel was used to power a stamp mill at his gold mining operation. Here's what it would have looked like in place. Man, that is complicated. Then here's Mr. Never Kiss, Never Bathe right here. What a neat place. I do like Idaho Springs. I think it's a cool little old mining town. I like that it's not perfect. I do like that it's a little bit dirty, it's a little bit crusty, a little bit rough around the edges still. Like the sidewalks aren't perfect and paint is peeling off the buildings. I like that much more than towns that have been completely restored and look like they were built yesterday. Well, I was afraid this might happen. The next place I wanted to go to is only about 25 minutes away. And the road that I was gonna take is this right here, that little road right there, but that is closed because of construction. So I do have to hop on the interstate for like a few miles to get to the next spot. Yeah, we were on the interstate for all of about a mile and a half. Welcome everyone to the second cool old mining town of the day. This is Central City. This was a gold mining town, once known as the richest square mile on Earth. President Grant, Ulysses S. Grant, visited this town in 1873, and it was so rich that like one of the restaurants or the hotel where he was staying or something like that paved the sidewalk in front of the building with silver bars. Look how cool this is. I love it when these old towns are almost three-dimensional, you know, when they're built onto a hill or a mountainside. This is so cool. In the 90s, Colorado changed some of its laws to allow gambling, and so this town and the neighboring little old mining town called Black Hawk became casino towns. And it is just beautiful here. I've never gambled a day in my life. I have zero interest in gambling, but as an aficionado of neat old mining towns, this one is definitely worth visiting. It's sad that so many of these buildings are just empty. Like this whole side of the street basically is just nothing. Oh, Teller House. This is the one that President Grant went into that was paved with silver. So I just looked up Teller House, and it was a hotel built in 1872. Apparently, it was known as the most luxurious hotel between Chicago and San Francisco. And again, some just incredible houses here. This is Black Hawk. This is the other little old mining town that has been turned into a casino town. And I don't know if we need to get out and take a look around. Not quite as quaint as Central City. And apparently it is a little bit more developed here. They do get more casino dollars here because this is closer to Denver by like half a mile. And so you do have some of these bigger resort casino style places that don't really interest me.
Yeah, I don't think I feel the need to get out and explore Black Hawk at all. This is not very interesting to me. So we are just gonna keep on going down towards civilization. And I'll see you guys in downtown Denver.
All right, guys, welcome to downtown Denver. You might recognize this area from the last time I was here. Actually, I don't think I'm supposed to be riding on the sidewalks. I think you're supposed to ride on the streets here. Anyway, you might recognize this area from when I was here a few months ago. I just parked at the REI in downtown, and I'm heading into deeper downtown. I'm heading to like the middle of downtown. This is a little bit sketchy. And there are two reasons for this. The first is that I've never been to like downtown Denver. And the second, and the most important one right now, is that there's a restaurant I want to go to. And so that's where we are headed first. And I parked at the REI because it's open air parking, so I don't have to mess with a parking garage because the Land Cruiser is a tall car. And so I thought this would just be easier. And then I rented this Lime scooter. Also, I don't know how well let's see, what is this? Sidewalk closed. Okay, I think I can still go over here. Maybe? No, what is happening? Where am I? Oh, actually, I think this is the street I want. Perfect. So I think we can dump the scooter here somewhere, park the scooter here somewhere, and then I think the restaurant is just right there. Okay, looks like that ride was $3.49. Great, totally worth it. Also, I just realized that I didn't have stabilization on the camera, so that's cool. Sorry about that. But this is where we're going. It's called Gaia Masala Burger and Bar. All right, guys, behold. I got some curly fries, but this is the main attraction here. This is a chicken tikka masala cheesesteak. So like a Philly cheesesteak, but Indian foodified. Dang. That is extremely good. That is very, very good. I love Philly cheesesteaks and I love Indian food, and so this is just like heaven for me. This is so good. This alone made the entire trip worth it. That was so good. I'm gonna be dreaming about that sandwich tonight, I think. And I've actually been eating at this cool spot. So the restaurant was like a couple blocks away. I got my food and then I walked here. This little closed off pedestrian street is called Larimer Square. And this is the oldest street basically in Denver. A lot of these buildings date back to the late 1800s. Denver was founded in 1858 as basically a mining camp. And all of the original wood buildings that were here have burned down long ago, but some of these date back to like the 1870s. Yeah, this one, the Crawford Building, says 1875 on it. And I'm now walking a couple blocks away to what people say is like the center of downtown. And again, that's the other goal here. I want to go to the middle of downtown, and there's a famous Denver landmark that marks the center of town. And that is this thing right here. This is the Daniels and Fisher Tower, built as part of a department store, but the department store got demolished decades ago, but the tower still remains. When it was built in 1911, it was the tallest building in Denver and the tallest building between the Mississippi and California. And today the tower is, I think, office space and also apartments. And do you see this line up here where the darker colored brick turns to the lighter colored brick? That's where the rest of the building used to attach to the tower. And if the tower looks familiar, it might be because it was modeled after the bell tower of St. Mark's Basilica in Venice. which is kind of fun. I think also it was built to be a foot higher than the original tower. Anyway, guys, we are going to get out of here. It's getting late. It's 4 o'clock. I would like to beat the worst of the rush hour traffic. So I'm gonna find another scooter, hop on it, ride back to the REI parking lot, and then drive out of town. But this was a lot of fun. Denver, cool city. It's very smoky today. There's a wildfire in the area somewhere. But apart from that, beautiful day. Well, I found a campsite, but that took forever. It's like 2.5 hours later. I kept running into dead ends and like roads that were closed, entire areas that were closed because it's mud season. I forgot that they do that here in Colorado. I haven't seen that in too many other places, but anyway, I eventually found a site and it's actually pretty epic. It's actually pretty awesome. It's on top of a ridge and there are mountain views in every direction. The smoke that we saw throughout the day is just heavy in the mountains up here, but it is gorgeous. Like, look at the layer upon layer of smoky mountains back there. It's so cool. The sun has already set behind this mountain over here. And there's something out by the main road that I want to show you that was another issue I kept running into. I'll show you a picture of some of the signs that I kept running into. Like first the roads that were closed because of mud, and then also signs saying that you could only camp in designated camping areas. And ultimately that is what I found here. This is site number 4. Camping and parking are allowed here, and also there are bears in the area. And then looking across the road, we have this dramatic looking peak, just a beautiful area. It has been heavily burned. And let me show you where we are in relation to the rest of Colorado and the ground that we covered today. So we started the day off up here, up in Kremling or by Kremling, and then we went to Denver, and we are now over here. We're kind of between Denver and Colorado Springs, but 20 miles west of that. So we're like in this green area here. We're by a lake called Cheeseman Lake, and we're sort of by a little town called Deckers. Today was an interesting day. Once again, it did not really go according to plan. There was a lot of driving today and a lot of buildings today. Again, that wasn't really the intent, but I had a good time and I hope you guys did too. There were a couple other things I wanted to mention. First of all, I got a rock chip in my windshield this morning. And so I spent an hour in Denver, in the Denver area, trying to get that fixed before I went into downtown. So that cost me some time. There was one point where I was driving on this road. It was a highway. It wasn't the interstate, but it was a little highway. And there was a goose walking across a couple different lanes of traffic. I'll put some footage of that here now. At first, I couldn't understand why people were stopping, and then I saw this big old goose walking around. Overall, though, I think it was a good day. Day 2 of driving across Colorado, almost entirely on back roads. That 1.5 miles got me earlier today. But tomorrow, we are going to be leaving the mountains. We are going to be going into the vast eastern plains of eastern Colorado. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.